There's a Forbes stat that 77% of consumers want to do business with brands and individuals that they recognize. So if you've been having trouble getting consistent work, getting clients to agree to your rates, getting answers from your cold pitches, this key marketing piece could be what's missing. You are not yet recognizable. I use this framework to get out of my head and start creating content because we're entering a time when standing out is going to be more important than ever. And I believe that the service providers that are putting themselves out there and letting people know who they really are the ones that are going to cut through the noise, that are going to position themselves as irreplaceable, someone that cannot be replaced by AI or someone with lower rates, right? It's all about demonstrating that expertise. And I share with you exactly how to do it. Being seen as an authority in your industry is how you will become the go-to service provider in your market, in your niche. But how do you become recognizable? People want to do business with people they recognize. And the good news is we can look at people like Dan Coe or Dave Gerhardt or Justin Welsh as really good examples of how to position ourselves and become that dominating industry authority. But it actually doesn't take becoming as big as them or gaining that big of a following to replicate the tactics and the strategies they're using so that you can increase your income and hustle less at the end of the day. In 2025, becoming recognizable and positioning yourself as an authority should be a top priority for any service provider, whether you're a freelance copywriter, whether you're a fractional CMO, whether you are a lawyer, a web designer, a marketing agency, anyone who sells services. And the harsh reality is that these markets are becoming more and more saturated. People are getting bombarded by cold pitching and marketing messages. And the key now is really to grab someone's attention and stand out to them and to show up consistently so that you stay top of mind, so that when that prospect has a need, you are the person that they think of, or when they receive your cold pitch, there's that familiarity already built in, that know, like, and trust factor is already there, which honestly does 90% of the work in the sales process. So the principles I'm going to map out here apply to whether you are posting on LinkedIn, whether you're on Instagram, whether you're sharing your expertise in community groups, whether you're attending networking groups, anything you do to market your service-based business. Maybe you've been asked to go on a podcast, or you're, standing on stage speaking at a conference. Anywhere that you are communicating with your target audience, you can use these principles to immediately stand out and become that go-to person that your prospective clients want to do business with. So step one is to know your audience deeply and continue to learn about them. So think of it like this. Let's say you're in the weight loss industry. Yes, there's always going to be the titans or the OGs, like let's say Jillian Michaels. Okay. These are people who have these huge brands. They have so much brand recognition, and the odds of you getting on Jillian Michaels level might not be realistic. But the advantage that you have over a Jillian Michaels is that because you aren't this behemoth brand, you have the ability to get to know your customers on a much deeper level and speak directly to their pain points, their goals, their desires, and their exact situation. So I'm a freelance copywriter and content writer by trade, which means that the majority of my day requires me to be doing research, talking to customers, listening, eavesdropping on conversations happening within industries to really pick up on what people want. That's how you create messages that really resonate and speak directly to the heart of the people that you're looking to get in front of. And most importantly, when they see that and it registers with them, it stops the scroll and they listen up because they're seeing, oh, this person actually knows what I'm going through. Simply put, it's the difference between a message that gets someone's attention and a message that gets ignored. So for this Jillian Michaels example, Jillian Michaels is up on TV and maybe she's being interviewed on Fox News to give her opinion about Ozempic, and she's speaking to this wide general audience, or maybe she's promoting a new book or a program. So let's say you're a personal trainer and you're trying to build authority in your business. You want to become recognizable, generate leads, work with the clients that you love working with and be picky about it, command top rates. Instead of replicating the mass media Jillian Michaels marketing strategy, you start understanding what your specific clients are searching for on Google, right? Once you understand what their biggest roadblocks are to fitness, you can start writing messages that speak straight to their issues, right? So if I am a weight loss consumer and I see a message that's saying, hey, I see you binge eating at night when you're stressed out. I know that you could eat well all day long, and then as soon as nighttime falls, you are snacking out of boredom and anxiety. Maybe you eat well all week, and then on the weekends you blow it. Maybe you're a mom and you're having a hard time finding any time for yourself and to do the basic things to take care of yourself, let alone get these hard workouts in. These are speaking to very specific pain points, desires, life situations, and therefore or you as a small business or as a service provider in the fitness industry can actually capture the attention and start meaningful conversations that land client. The most compelling marketing efforts, whether it is creating content, whether it's running ads, whether it's running a webinar to enroll students into your program, it's going to be, does your message resonate with where they are now and where they want to go? So again, knowing your audience is the hack. That is your cheat code to building authority. They want to know, does this program have the ability to understand where I am and tailor a solution specifically to me? And you have that ability if you listen to your audience and know them. Now, number two is to tell stories about the work you're doing and how it is impacting clients. There's an amazing book called Building a Story Brand by Donald Miller that basically explains to small business owners that the reason their marketing fails a lot of the time, and the reason their website isn't converting, is because they're talking about themselves. The business talks about itself. It's very self-centered instead of making the client or the customer the hero of the story, right? That's why these before and after photos are so compelling in the weight loss industry. That's why SaaS companies, I'm a technology writer, so we write case studies where we talk about the results that other customers have gotten from the products, or it's also called use cases, to show other companies, hey, this is how this big brand used our product to get X, Y, and Z results. So telling stories about how you've helped other customers and clients achieve the transformation is always going to be really compelling for the person who is interacting with your brand, because they don't just want to know that you're the best and you've gotten this result. They want to know that you've replicated that success for other people just like them, because then that makes the customer think, well, if that person can do it, I can do it too. So what you do there is amplify the stories of other people, not just yourself. That should be mixed into your marketing when you're positioning yourself as an authority, or else it's going to be a really self-centered, like me personal brand versus somebody that people want to buy into. Okay, next is showcasing your unique point of view and just proving that you have an opinion. This is so overlooked for anybody trying to become an authority in their industry. They're almost afraid to go against the grain because they're just trying so hard to fit into some type of mold that the industry says. So I'll give you a prime example of how I do this in my program, 30 Days to Paid, for my offer. So I know the common path that freelance writers take when they go to start their own freelance writing business. They typically go to Upwork. That's the first inclination because it is the number one platform for freelancers, or they bid on jobs, or they kind of just stay stuck not even knowing what to do. So what I've done is I've developed a framework where an inexperienced writer can create their online presence and start cold pitching, even if they don't have all of the experience or credentials. They don't have to go work for pennies on Upwork and, take the traditional trajectory that all the other writers typically take. It's why it takes writers longer, why they stay in 9-to-5 jobs versus going full time. So by spouting my opinion that you don't need to, do all of these unpaid hours and learn, that you can just kind of jump in if you master cold pitching, that is a different opinion than what is mostly being preached on YouTube and other platforms. Is everybody going to agree with me or think that that's the correct way? No, but the people who actually get it and do have some sales and marketing expertise to understand how powerful cold pitching can be, my framework does make sense and people can get behind it. But it's not what everybody else is preaching in the industry. I have my opinions. The fact that I'm a Christian and talk about my faith, that's a big no-no. Okay. Like, I know for a fact I've turned off many prospective clients and customers by talking about my faith. People have asked me, please stop talking about your faith. But it is my unique point of view that my faith is going to be incorporated into this platform that I'm building, that it is going to be a vehicle on top of helping people leave their 9-to-5 and gain that personal fulfillment. I also get to spread the gospel in an indirect way, right? There's certain people that are going to be drawn to me specifically because they relate to my values as a Christian. But there's other people out there that might say, well, no, you should try to appeal to absolutely everybody and not turn people off and don't talk about sensitive subjects, right? So to understand what your unique point of view is, write down 3 beliefs in your industry that are different from the norm. Maybe you're a real estate agent and you know the traditional advice that's given about mortgages, and maybe everyone's saying, get a 15-year fixed mortgage, and you have such a different, opinion because you believe X, Y, and Z. I know that's a really bad, that was a pathetic example because I'm not in that industry, but you get what I'm saying. There's something that is commonly held in your industry that you actually don't agree with. You're suggesting a different way, and you have evidence and proof and a framework as to why you believe that. That is what will make you stand out, is by saying things that go against the grain. Granted, you have to actually have those beliefs. If you don't truly believe in that stuff, it's not going to be as impactful. You have to really stand by it. The next thing you're going to want to do is build relatable authority. I think the reason why so many service providers are nervous to put themselves out there online is that they think they need to know everything or be smarter or know more than the people that they're trying to sell to. And that's just not the case. That is actually why I only started posting on LinkedIn this year for my copywriting business when I could have been doing that incrementally throughout the years this whole time. It's just I had this mistaken notion that the content marketers that I worked for obviously know so much more than me. So what do I have to say that would be impactful for them? This is kind of that mistaken belief that I just need to be this big know-it-all, when really building a brand is more than just sharing educational content and information and putting out facts, right? That's not what it's about. It's also about showing your humanity, giving people a glimpse into your life to show that you're a human. People don't want to just do business with a robot like ChatGPT that can spit out facts. They want to do business with somebody who they think is human, that they can relate to, that has empathy. So when you can share business lessons or life advice or lessons you've learned the hard way or biggest mistakes or, a big setback you had in your life and career, that can build that relatable authority to show people you've been through stuff in life and you've had these experiences. It lets people connect with you on a deeper level because they feel like they know something personal about you, but they're also inspired by the fact that you were able to learn something or come through on the other side. So if you're looking for a way to start positioning yourself as this expert and simplify your marketing with templates and content frameworks that seriously make this a no-brainer, you're going to want to download my service provider personal brand playbook. This playbook teaches you how to brand and position yourself as the go-to expert in your industry. It's going to make it easier to do business with clients, earn that trust, command higher rates, and just free up time to actually do the client work. Because let's face it, marketing yourself and marketing your business can be a whole full-time job in and of itself, which is why a lot of us just don't do it. This is a proven client attraction system that allows you to skip the guesswork and start generating inbound leads, even if you don't feel like you are a great writer or you hate selling yourself or you just don't feel like you're expert enough. Maybe you're new, so you're like, what could I possibly even talk about to start marketing myself when I'm inexperienced? I have a video training with a playbook that walks you through the basics of marketing yourself, but also how to start fleshing out your story and your experiences so that you can create really magnetic content that has clients coming to you. I use this framework to get out of my head and start creating content because as much as I believe in the power of cold pitching so much that I teach it and built a whole course around it, we're entering a time when standing out is going to be more important than ever. And I believe that the service providers that are putting themselves out there and letting people know who they really are the ones that are going to cut through the noise, that are going to position themselves as irreplaceable, someone that cannot be replaced by AI or someone with lower rates, right? It's all about demonstrating that expertise. And I share with you exactly how to do it. Grab it. I have the link down below. See ya.